Hi, welcome to my channel Janane Tadda. We have started discussion about operational amplifier from a few lectures. So we are here to discuss about the new concept of operational amplifier. Without wasting time, we will start our today's session. So we are going to discuss about the slew rate, which is a new concept in the operational amplifier. Till now we have discussed about the ideal characteristics of operational amplifier, but we have till now we have assumed that the given operational amplifier is ideal and which accepts the infinite bandwidth of the signal. But in the slew rate, there is one of the non-idealities of a given operational amplifier. So the slew rate, by the definition, it gives that the maximum rate at which the output of operational amplifier can change. We can say that also the maximum rate at which the output of operational amplifier responds. If I change the input of the signal very rapidly, so how the operational amplifier will react. We also said that our operational amplifier is a versatile device, so which means that which is able to amplify all bandwidth signal. But here, because of having the slew rate limit, the operational amplifier also having some limit on operation of its bandwidth also. So to discuss about the slew rate, we have to take one example. Also we have discussed in the last video. In the last video, we have discussed about the voltage follower. So we will take that example to discuss the slew rate concept. So because it is in a voltage follower, the resistance in the feedback is 0. So we'll give an input. We assume that it is an V1, and we also assume that the given operational amplifier is an ideal and it have a infinite open loop voltage gain, and also we assume that the current flowing into the operational amplifier also 0. Only when we are discussing about the operational amplifier, we will include one non-ideality, and we will retain all other things as a constant, as an ideal case only. So to find the slew rate of a given operational amplifier, I would like to apply some pulse to it. So in the last video also we have applied a pulse having a 0 volts and the 5 volts, where the time duration I am assuming it is having a 20 microsecond. So it having an amplitude of this wave, I am having an amplitude of some 5 volts. So because of having is the voltage gain this of amplifier is 1. So whatever the input present at the output should be same. So whatever we expect the waveform at the output as having 0 volts, and also we expect that the output also changes as rapidly as the input changes, because within the 0 time we know that at t equal to, we assume that at t equal to 0 we have at t equal to 0 minus the amplitude of the signal is 0. When the t equal to 0, the amplitude is suddenly changed, because we call it as a discontinuity. So discontinuous. So if I'm here, because of having a sudden transition in the input, so what are the effect we are getting in the output of this signal? So the expected output is this. This is expected output, but we won't get the same output. We get the output signal as so 0 volts, 8 volts, 5. So the output of operational amplifier, takes some time takes some delta t time to reach this 5 volts. So we call this as a slew rate of an operational amplifier. Generally we measure slew rate, we represent the slew rate as SR, and the units of slew rates are nothing but volts per microsecond. So we will measure the slew rate of a given operational amplifier in a volts per microsecond. The slew rate of an operational amplifier will varies from IC to IC. It only depends upon the manufacturing quality, how a manufacturer will design a given operational amplifier. So slew rate is IC dependent. It depends on IC or manufacturing. It depends upon the manufacturing process. The slew rate will be vary from IC to IC, we can say that. Also, if I given any other input, so the reason between the what is the reason for getting these slew rate we'll discuss. So the slew rate occurs because of having some internal capacitances, because till now we have discussed the operational amplifier as in a block box. We have represented our operational amplifier as a schematic symbol having the two input terminal, the two output terminal. We haven't discussed how we design the given operational amplifier, because the operational amplifier will be mostly designed by using the transistors. Because of transistor, when we operate the transistor, because we represent the schematic, till now we have discussed about the transistor, the schematic representation, we assume that the schematic representation of a transistor looks like. So we call it as a base terminal, we call it as a collector terminal, we call it as an emitter terminal. To differentiate whether it is an NP, we have the transistors are two types, where NPN transistor and PNP transistor. To differentiate the NPN and PNP transistor, and also to denote the flow, current flowing, will draw a arrow symbol where it represents the flow of current. We will discuss about this transistor in detail, the design and the fabrication methods also. So when I operate this operational amplifier having high frequencies, we can expect that it have some capacitances. It forms some capacitances. We call these capacitance as a parasitic capacitances. Parasitic capacitance. So these parasitic capacitances, these internal capacitances will limit the performance of operational amplifier. So because when I say that the operational amplifier having a block box, so we can assume that there is a many number of transistors are present, and because so to avoid that the effect of all these capacitances, we will add one extra capacitance which is called as a dominant capacitance. We call it as a dominant capacitance. It will minimize these external capacitance. We will discuss about this capacitance as a frequency compensation technique. So in the next video, so these external capacitor will dominate the effects of all the capacitance. So only whatever the slew rate effect we are getting is because of this bulky external capacitor. So how we will now discuss how that capacitor will affect our performance of operational amplifier with respect to the slew rate. We know that as we are connected external capacitor as a bulk capacitor having capacitance of C, we assume that the current flowing these capacitance as IC. So whatever the current, the slew rate only depends upon the discharging and charging capability of a capacitor. We know that the current and voltage relation between the capacitor is nothing but IC equal to C dVc by dt. Which I think I have to find is that whatever the voltage change, the change in output with respect to the time, so dVc by dt is nothing but IC by C. If I assume that the current flowing into the capacitor as a 200 microamperes and the capacitance as a 30 picofarad, I can expect that the 6.66 mega volts per second. It means that per second the output of operational amplifier changes 6.6 megavolts. If I represent in terms of its unit, where we represent the slew rate units as voltage for microsecond, so because of that it changes 6.66 volts per microsecond. So because of these because of the limitations of this capacitor, we are getting the slew rate units as voltage for microsecond. So what it denotes means, if I have a capacitor having a slew rate of 1 volt per microsecond, it means that the output of a operational amplifier, we can say that the output of op amp changes 1 volt per 1 microsecond. So because of 1 volt per microsecond, the output of operational amplifier changes 1 volt per a change in 1 microsecond. If I want to get a 5 volts of change, it has to take the time as 5 microsecond. So delta t is here equal to 5 microsecond. So I am getting for a 5, it takes to reach the voltage, the give input voltage, it takes additional 5 microseconds to reach the input signal. If I go for another example, so this slew rate is always dependent on. So we'll discuss about one thing again. So this slew rate is depends upon the frequency of the input signal, and also depends upon the amplitude of the given signal. If we want to prove this signal, we'll take to prove these statements, I have to take one example. I will take another example to prove this. So if I have some pulse signal having 0 to 5 volts, and I assuming that the time period is 40 microsecond. So I am assuming that the given input pulse having a 40 microsecond, and the on time will be 20 microsecond, because I am assuming that having a 50% duty cycle. I am assuming the given input signal having a 50% duty cycle. Because of having 50% duty cycle, the on time and off time will be equal. So on time will be 20 microsecond. So I am assuming, to explain the concept very clearly, I am assuming that the whatever the operational amplifier I have chosen, the operational amplifier having 0.5 volts per 1 microsecond slew rate. I am assuming that the slew rate of my operational amplifier, whichever I build, the operational amplifier having a 0.5 volts change per 1 microsecond. So if I given the same input to this operational amplifier, so I am considering here only on time of operational amplifier, and assume 0 volts and having a 20 microsecond. So my expected output will be the same, 0 to 5 volts having a 20 microsecond. But because of having the slew rate of the 0.5 volts change in 1 microsecond, to get a 5 volts it takes 10 microseconds. If I draw this output as, if I assume that this is as a, if I assume it as a 10 microsecond, so it takes 10 microseconds to reach the 5 volts. It stay for a while of till 20 seconds, it will stay as a constant and it tries to fall to 0. So this is the output we are expecting because of having the slew rate of operational amplifier. As I said that the slew rate always depends upon frequency of the signal. If I increase the frequency of the signal, if I to increase the frequency of the signal, we know that the frequency and time period relation will be frequency is inversely proportional to the time. If I take the same one pulse having 0 to 5 volts, because I am keeping the amplitude of the signal as a constant here, so I am assuming that because if I want to increase the frequency, I have to decrease the time period. If I assume the time period of the signal as a 10 microsecond, the expected output will be this same as input. So it 10 microsecond having a 5 volt, but the practical output to reach 5 volts, it takes 10 microseconds. So it takes 10 microsecond and will drop because there is no time left out to stay as a constant, so it drops to 0. So because of the performance of this operational amplifier varying because of there is a change in the frequency of the signal. So we can conclude that the given operational amplifier slew rate directly depends upon the frequency of the signal. When we are designing any application, we have to be cautious about the frequency of the signal. What the device which are selecting, we have to take the operational amplifier having higher frequency slew rate compared to the way what our application wanted to do. So if I want to prove the second wave, the second example, I have to keep the frequency of the given signal as a constant. I have to change the amplitude of the signal. So if we have discussed one case already. So if I want to discuss in the second case, I want to take the example. If I want to give an input having a 20 microsecond, I am keeping this time period as a constant. I want to change 20 volts. I want to give a 20 volts of pulse to the input of the non-inverting terminal, but the expected actual output should be 0 volts and the 20 volts within the time slot of 20 microsecond. But I also assuming that the same slew rate of this operational amplifier also 5 volts for 1 microsecond. But to reach 20 volts, it takes 40 microseconds. But the time period of the signal is only 20 volts. Within the 20 volts, it only gets a 10 volts. So it will go for small only. So this given operational amplifier will not able to reach the input signal because of having the slew rate of operational amplifier is very low. So we have to be careful when designing an application by using the operational amplifier in a high frequency application. So we have to be cautious about the selecting the frequency of the signal and the selecting the amplitude of the signal for a given IC, or we have to be cautious while selecting the IC, because we have to select the given select the operational amplifier having higher slew rate when compared to the input slew rate. So we have till now we have only discussed about the effect of slew rate on the square pulse. So we are going to discuss about but generally whatever the circuit we are expecting in the analog electronics or in the real world, we will discuss with respect to the sinusoidal. If I give any sinusoidal signal, if I want to give any sinusoidal signal as an input to this amplifier, if I want to give sinusoidal signal as an input, let us assume 5 volts minus 5 volts with respect to the time. If I give an input to the sinusoidal as a input to this operational amplifier, I have to get the same output in the output side. I have to expect the same thing. So don't worry about the circuit, the waveform. So I have to get the same input and output should be same. Because of having some slew rate, the output will looks like, so output will be linearly, because of having the capacitor, because of having the external bulk capacitor, will expect that the capacitor charges linearly, because it charges linearly. So we have, because of having the slew rate, so we are getting this waveform. And also we can change the same, the sinusoidal signal also, the output depends upon the amplitude of the input and the frequency of the input. If I take, so we also say that at this point the maximum change occurs. The maximum change occurs at zero crossing. If I want to calculate the slew rate of the given operational amplifier, when I given the sinusoidal as an input, we know that we are assuming that V input as the amplitude of the signal, as a Vp. So I am assuming that the amplitude of the signal as Vp. I want to model this as a sin omega t. So I want to I have also given that the maximum rate at which output of a operational amplifier change with respect to time. If I differentiate the output with respect to the input, so we get that if I differentiate this input, because the input and output will be same for given voltage unity gain amplifier. So I can get that Vp into omega t. Differentiation of sin omega t is nothing but cos omega t. So I have to get the maximum change. So maximum change I want to get, the maximum of cos omega t is nothing but 1. So we get that d output by dt maximum is equals to Vp. We can represent this as a 2 pi f. So I am getting a 2 pi f, and this is 2 pi f. So we call it as a slew rate. So to avoid the distortion, we call it as a distorted wave. So to avoid the distortion, we have to take care the slew rate of the given signal should be greater than 2 pi f max. So we assuming that it is a maximum max into amplitude of the wave. So from that, we can also conclude that the slew rate is depends upon the maximum voltage, and the slew rate also depends upon the maximum frequency. So to get the output without distortion, the slew rate should be equals to 2 pi f max into Vp. So the maximum frequency I can apply here is 2 pi Vp. So while selecting this any operational amplifier, we have to calculate the slew rate. This slew rate will be specified by the manufacturer only. Manufacturer will specify this slew rate value in the data sheets. When you read the data sheets of any given IC, we will get the slew rate of the operational amplifier. Because of having the slew rate of the operational amplifier, we have the limit in the performance of the operational amplifier. It is one of the non-ideality of a operational amplifier. So in the next video, we will discuss some numerical problems regarding the slew rate. So we are concluding this lecture today. So we will discuss in the next video regarding slew rate problems, numericals, because the most of the students are asking to solve the numericals regarding to all the concepts, so they can engage into the lecture very interestingly. So if you liked my way of teaching and the content, so please subscribe to Jananetha Adda, and please share these videos to your friends and to our college students and whatever the groups of ECE instrumentation and Triple E. So please share these videos to all, to reach my lectures to all your friends. And if you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section so I can clarify your doubt easily, and also watch my job notification videos which are regularly updating by me. So please subscribe and like the video and comment if possible. Stay safe, stay happy.